Okay, so thank you so much for being here and doing this for me and for everyone who's getting so much learning from these. So today we're going to work on something that's a curious physical condition, and we're going to look at some maybe possibly underlying emotional contributing factors to that. Can you explain what it is that happens, and are you feeling that now?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm feeling it now, a little bit milder. It's an odd pain, and I say it's in my stomach, but it kind of happens at the top of my stomach, kind of like in between third and fourth chakra. Like so way at the very top of my stomach, if that's even really my stomach. I'm not very good with anatomy, but and it's this kind of really strong hunger pain. I've always just thought, oh, it's a hunger pain. But it's really strong and very demanding. And it's been going on, literally for decades since at least I was a teenager, or maybe even earlier. Yeah.
Okay. And is there any particular time of day that it happens more than others? What do you know about it?
Well, it definitely happens when I'm hungry, which is why I thought it was a hunger pain. And it's, most people who have things like this, it's sort of more like after food, because I've almost thought it was an over acidic feeling. It's very, very penetrating and, pushing in. And so it happens when I'm hungry. It's so in the morning I'll have it. It's relieved with most types of food, but some foods might make it worse, like fruit and vegetables, which I like to eat a lot of. But if I only eat fruit or vegetables, it doesn't get worse, but it just starts to hurt again really fast after that. Like if I only eat a salad, then I'll get the pain again pretty quickly after that.
Okay.
Whereas if I eat like cheese and crackers, it's satisfied for a longer time.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've had this checked out medically and nothing.
Yeah. I've talked to different doctors and practitioners, and they've pretty much kind of just said, well, I don't know what that is. And that doesn't, they don't really take it very seriously. I've never gone and been like, this is horrible. I need you to, to do a bunch of x-rays or something like that. So I haven't done that. And okay. It's sort of this underlying thing that I've just assumed I have to live with. And I've always thought, oh, probably other people have it. But lately, the more I've talked to people, it's like, no, actually, most people don't have it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Are you experiencing it right now?
Yeah, just a little more mildly. I did have a little something to eat a few hours ago. And so now I'm starting to get hungry. So it's starting to come back. It's also made worse with most beverages except water. So I did have some coffee. So, that always makes it, But even tea, anything does it,
Makes it worse.
Yeah, it'll make it start to happen quicker, like even a cup of herb tea.
Okay. So right now, as you're experiencing it, would you say that it's penetrating, it's digging in, it's somewhere around between your third and fourth chakra, and is that how you would describe it right now?
Yeah, and it kind of weirdly rises up a little bit into my esophagus area, it almost feels like most of it is sort of boring in and this hunger pain in that upper stomach area, but then sometimes I can almost feel it kind of a little bit all through in the chest too, going down.
And that's what you're feeling now?
Yeah.
And on a level of intensity from 0 to 10, how strong is that sensation right now?
I think it's probably, considering how bad it can get, probably now it's about a 5.
Okay. Let's do some chasing the pain on this. Okay. So even though I have this sensation that's rising up to my esophagus.
I have this sensation it's rising up to my esophagus.
Feels like a hunger pain that's digging in.
Feels like a hunger pain that's digging in.
It's penetrating.
It's penetrating.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel this pain in around my second and third chakra.
Even though I feel this pain between my third and fourth chakra.
Right. Oh, yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
And it's rising up to my esophagus.
And rises up to my esophagus.
Feels like a hunger pain.
It's like a really strong hunger pain.
And demanding.
Very demanding.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel this hunger pain.
Even though I feel this hunger pain.
Starting around my third or fourth chakra.
It's up in between my third and fourth chakra, but
rising up to my esophagus.
Rising up to my esophagus.
It's digging in and penetrating.
Digging in and penetrating.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. Let's tap on the points. This feeling that's rising up to my esophagus.
This feeling rising up to my esophagus.
It's a hunger pain that's penetrating.
It's a hunger pain that's penetrating.
Starting around my third and fourth chakra.
Right in there in my third and fourth chakra.
And it's rising up to my esophagus.
Rises up a little to my esophagus.
It's digging in, penetrating pain.
Digging in, penetrating pain.
This digging in, penetrating pain.
This digging in, penetrating pain.
Rising up to my esophagus.
Rising up to my esophagus.
This hunger pain.
This hunger pain.
All right. Did it change your move at all?
It just kind of, I mean, it almost feels like it grew a little. And, you know, what came up just as I first started tapping is like, this has been here for so long, it's never going to change. You know, that was like, you know, so, and I'm almost like embarrassed to do this with you. So I'm like, this is just.
Okay. So let's do some sneaking up on it then. So how strong is that feeling? It's never going to go away.
That's a 10.
Okay. Even though it feels like it's never going to go away.
Feels like it's, I mean, it'll come and go, but it'll never totally go away. That's what I mean. Like it comes several times a day, every day for all these years. So it's never going to stop doing that.
Okay. Yeah. It's never going to stop doing that.
It's never going to stop doing that.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel like it's not going to totally go away.
Even though I feel like it's not going to totally go away.
It's going to come back.
It's going to come back.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel like it's been around for so long.
Even though I feel like it's been around for so long.
Every day.
Every single day.
Many times a day.
Many times a day.
I don't feel it's going to ever go away completely.
I don't think it's ever going to go away completely.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
This feeling that it's never going to go away completely.
This feeling that it's never going to go away completely.
This feeling that it's never going to go away completely.
This feeling that it's never going to go away completely.
It happens every day.
Happens every day.
Multiple times a day.
Multiple times a day.
It's not going to go away completely.
It's not going to go away completely.
Not going to go away completely.
Not going to go away completely.
It's not going to go away completely.
It's not going to go away completely.
It happens so many times a day, every day.
It happens every single day, so many times a day, for so long. So, yeah, I mean, that the feeling that it's never going to go away is still there, but I feel a little more hopeful that it's possible. You know, it seems like a small possibility, I have to say, but you know, that's why I'm here. You know, it's like maybe it could go away, but but there's still a pretty strong like you know, it's been here forever. Like I can never remember almost the time that it wasn't.
Okay, and how strong is that feeling? It's never going to totally go away.
It's maybe a 7 now.
All right, let's tap on that. Is there emotion with that? It's never really going to
kind of this like resignation and defeated feeling, like you're just stuck with this for the rest of your life.
Okay.
And food is the only way you can cure it. And then, of course, then you end up eating things you maybe don't want to eat. You know?
Okay. So even though it feels stuck.
It feels stuck.
Like it's not going to go away.
Like it's just not going to go away.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this resignation.
Even though I feel all this resignation.
It just feels like it's stuck.
It's just stuck.
Like it's never going to go away.
Like it's never going to go away.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I'm feeling all this resignation.
Even though I'm feeling all this resignation.
It's just not going to go away.
It's just not going to go away.
I have it every day.
I have it every day. I have it right now.
I have it right now. I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
All this resignation.
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 This feeling that it's not going to go away.
This feeling that is not going to go away.
I'm stuck with it.
I'm stuck with it for the rest of my life.
For the rest of my life, I'm stuck with this thing.
For the rest of my life, I'm stuck with this thing.
Feeling all this resignation.
Feeling all this resignation.
All this resignation.
All this resignation.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gone down a little. I mean, I'm kind of like, what would I say to someone who said that to me? Like, things can change. I mean, I know things can change, and this, so it's not gone, the feeling that it's never going to go away, but it is definitely down. Like, it's like, well, wouldn't it be amazing? Like, what else would change if that went away?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So give me a gauge on the SUDS level of resignation. It's never going to go away.
I'd say it's down to like maybe a 4.
Okay. So this is still sneaking up, and we want to try to get it to a 3 or below. So let's do another round at least. So even though I still feel this resignation,
I still feel some resignation.
It's not going to go away.
It's probably not going to go away.
I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life.
I think I'll be stuck with it for the rest of my life.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this resignation.
Even though I feel all this resignation.
And I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life.
That I'm probably stuck with this for the rest of my life.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this resignation.
Even though I feel all this resignation.
That this is here, I'm stuck with it for the rest of my life.
This is here, and I'm stuck with it for the rest of my life.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
This resignation.
This resignation.
I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life.
I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life.
This resignation.
This resignation.
I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life.
I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life.
This resignation.
This resignation.
I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life.
I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life.
This resignation.
This resignation.
I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life.
I am stuck with it for the rest of my life. Okay, yeah, what it came up is like, well, I do believe in miracles, right? I believe in miracles. It does feel like it would be a miracle to actually eliminate it completely. But yeah, I believe in miracles. So yeah, I think it's down to like a 1 or less that I would be stuck with it for the rest of my life. I mean,
okay, great.
Yeah.
What else did you want to say?
Well, it's this pattern I've noticed in myself where there's this other little voice that's like, we're going to stay the same and everything's going to be terrible or whatever, And so I'm like, no, I believe in miracles. So there's those sort of 2 pieces going on. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Let me go back and check on the actual sensation right now. Tell me about it right now. Is it still about a 5? Before we
Yeah, it's about a 5. And it's, and that's this thing, like, it's like the only thing that's going to make this go away is when I eat something. After this session, I'm going to go eat something and it's going to go away. And it does sometimes, like in the mornings before I eat, it'll be these waves. It'll come, and then if I don't eat right away, it goes away for 20 minutes, half hour, and then it comes back. But later in the day, usually, like, I pretty much have to eat something for it to go away. Right?
Okay. So the thing that you would have to do right now to make it go away completely is to go eat something.
Yeah.
And what would you, thinking about what's in your house now, what would you eat?
Well, I would probably go ahead and eat, if it's, I'll go ahead and eat lunch, which will be some leftovers from dinner. It's like a curry vegetable thing. So that'll be a healthy, solid thing that'll make it go away for several hours, 3, 4 hours.
Okay. And just, yeah. And just thinking about, so you have something that's healthy and it's going to go away for a few hours. Is there any emotion about that even after you eat that in a few hours, it's going to be back?
Yeah, then it's back to that. It's just kind of like, well, I had, so then it's like, maybe I'm changing aspects, but a little frustration that I just constantly have to keep eating, and sometimes I would like to, not eat as much or not. And it's like some of the foods that make it feel the best are foods that I'm sort of thinking maybe it'd be better to avoid. And then there's foods that make it feel worse that I should also avoid. So, like bread and cheese and all these things like that, just give it that solid base where it doesn't happen. It's like gone. Like I said, whereas the fruits and vegetables, you got to,
Okay.
So it's a frustration because I would like to, this thing may all be rooted in issues around fear of weight, stuff like that, So yeah, it's kind of like this frustration, like I'm never going to be able to have a eating plan or experiment with eating plans that might be more ideal for me because then my stomach's going to hurt too much,
Okay. And so what if you had your ideal meal instead of the leftovers today, what would it be? If you could think, wow, I'm going to make this beautiful, healthy meal, would it involve fruits and vegetables?
Yeah, salad. I like to eat a lot of salad, and I do eat a lot of salad. And, sometimes I will eat a salad. I usually will add something to, like some protein and some fat, which is actually, I know, healthy. And it's not to say I wouldn't eat that, but then I would have to be like planning, okay, so 2 hours after that, I need to be sure there'll be a snack available or else I just have to suffer through having the pain.
All right. So
Yeah.
so just imagining that later today, the only thing you ate was a salad. The only thing that you had was a salad. There's nothing but salad there.
Yeah.
Tell me how you're feeling. What's the emotion that comes up?
It's, just like, it's hard to say what the emotion is, but it's this feeling of like, I have to deal with this pain. So it's almost like a fear and anxiety. Like when I travel and, there's food like what am I going to eat? And it needs to be healthy, but I'm going to get hungry and I need to make sure, because it's so there's a lot of anxiety around that.
Okay. So imagining that the only thing that there was in your house the rest of the day and that the only thing you could eat was salad, you have fear and anxiety because the pain is going to come back.
Yeah, I'm going to have the pain. And
0 to 10 on the fear and anxiety.
It's probably about like a 6.
Okay. And do you feel that anywhere in your body?
I think I feel this kind of shrinking, cringing feeling.
Okay.
Of course, I still have the pain, but
yeah. Yes. So even though I feel this fear and anxiety,
this
cringing feeling,
this
shrinking in feeling,
just
imagining all I have today is a salad.
Because
I know the pain is going to be there.
I'll be so hungry. The pain is going to be there.
Oh, because it's really hunger pain.
It's a hunger pain, yeah.
I deeply completely accept myself. Even though I feel all this fear and anxiety. That I'm going to get that hunger pain right away.
And I'll get that hunger pain really soon.
Yeah, because all I have is a salad. And I feel this fear and anxiety.
I
deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm imagining all I have in my house is a salad today.
And
I'm cringing.
I am cringing.
I'm shrinking. I am full of fear and anxiety.
Got all this fear and anxiety.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Good.
Let's tap on the points. This fear and anxiety.
This shrinking in feeling. This cringing. This fear and anxiety. 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 Yeah, it's weird. It's like all this really fear and anxiety. Like I really have a lot of fear and anxiety about being hungry, which is sort of like it just feels so unbearable to me to be hungry.
Okay.
And it's sort of embarrassing, but there it is, you know.
Okay. So thinking that all you have is a salad, you don't have any access to anything else today except a salad, the fear and anxiety level 0 to 10.
Well, that it actually kind of went up when I was thinking, like, if it was really true that there would be nothing else in the house except a salad, I was just like, ugh, I'm going to be so hungry. So it kind of went up to maybe an 8.
And now thinking about it, still an 8?
Yeah, kind of,
Okay.
if I really believe it,
Yes, I want you to.
Yeah.
All right. So even though just the thought that I can only have salad,
just the thought that I can only have salad.
it's the only thing I have in my house today.
It's the only thing I have in my house.
Feeling all this fear and anxiety about being hungry.
Feeling all this fear and anxiety about being hungry.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this fear and anxiety.
Even though I feel all this fear and anxiety.
Just imagining the only thing I have is salad in the house.
Just imagining the only thing I have is salad in the house.
This fear and anxiety that I'm going to be hungry.
This fear and anxiety because I'm going to be hungry.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this fear and anxiety.
Even though I feel all this fear and anxiety.
Imagining that I can only have salad today.
Imagining that I can only have salad today.
And I'm filled with fear and anxiety.
I'm filled with fear and anxiety.
About being hungry.
About being hungry.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
All this fear and anxiety.
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 All this fear and anxiety. Whew. Yeah. It's gone down some, it's like this fear and anxiety, like, okay, I have this pain now and I'll just have to live with it all day long because, the salad won't totally make it go away and then it'll get worse. But it's gone down. I did have this kind of very, very sort of not very vague memory come up of being at some very young age and sent to bed with no supper. So, which I've never thought of in relation to this before. And I can't remember like exactly how that might have gone, or what that was, but I think it probably happened.
Okay. So I want you to, let's try doing some make it up. So you tell me what would likely have happened. Who would have sent you to bed without supper?
It would have been my mom or my dad or both, possibly a babysitter.
And in your mind, make up one that has that personality you think probably likely to be who?
Okay. Maybe my dad.
Okay. So dad sent you home to bed sent you to your bedroom without any supper.
Right.
Okay. And imagining what could have happened that set that off. Just make it up.
Maybe I was having a tantrum, or maybe, could be I didn't want to eat what was the supper, So, I think it actually happened more than once probably, but one thing I probably almost positive would happen is, well, you're not going to eat this and you don't get anything to eat and go to bed with no supper,
Okay. So imagine what that meal could have been. Just make it up.
Well, it might have been that there was some canned vegetables, like canned peas or something like this.
Yep. Okay. So imagining that one day you're served canned peas, you have a tantrum, and your dad sends you off to bed without any supper. Thinking about that, what's the emotion you're feeling?
Well, the first thing that came up was sadness, but then I do feel, kind of angry. Yeah, kind of mad that, that he would do that.
0 to 10 on the anger.
So I have a hard time tuning in with anger, so give me a second.
And we could start with sadness if it's more present.
Okay, well, see, what's happening is I'm trying to stay with this made up memory, but I have this other memory of my sister that happening to her when I was older.
That's fine.
Yeah,
We can go to that one. We can go
right.
to that one since it's coming up. That usually happens.
So
So go ahead and tell me the real memory.
okay, so the real memory, my sister was really picky. She's young. I'm like probably 7 or 8, and so she's like 3 or 4. And she's crying and crying, and she, and they're yelling, he's yelling at her, and she has to eat it. And then if she doesn't eat it, she doesn't get any food, and she has to go to bed with no supper. And I feel really, I kind of was her protector. I was her older sister. So
thinking about that now, what is emotion you're feeling?
really sad. Yeah, that's the first one that comes up because remembering me, and I felt so helpless, I couldn't help her because I had no power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 0 to 10 on the sadness.
I'd say it's about an 8.
Do you feel that anywhere in your body?
Well, I'm feeling it in my throat and kind of that esophagus thing, still having the pain.
Interesting. All right. So even though I feel all of this sadness,
I feel all of the sadness.
I feel helpless.
I feel helpless.
Dad's yelling at my sister.
Dad's yelling at my sister.
And she's crying.
She's crying.
Having to go to bed without supper.
Having to go to bed without supper.
And I can't help her.
I can't help her.
And I'm her protector.
And I'm her protector.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this sadness in my throat.
Even though I feel all this sadness in my throat.
Dad's yelling at her.
Dad's yelling at her.
She's having to go to bed without supper.
She's going to have to go to bed without supper.
And I can't do anything.
I can't do anything.
I can't help her.
I can't help her.
I feel helpless.
I feel helpless.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this sadness in my throat.
Even though I feel all the sadness in my throat.
Dad's yelling at her.
Dad's yelling at her.
She's crying.
She's crying.
She's having to go to bed without any supper.
She's having to go to bed without any supper.
And I feel helpless.
I feel helpless.
I'm her protector.
I'm her protector. I don't want her to be hungry.
I don't want her to be hungry, and I can't do anything about it.
Can't do anything about it.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
And I deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. This sadness in my throat.
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 I can't do anything to protect her.
I can't do anything to protect her.
She's having to go to bed without any supper.
She's having to go to bed without any supper.
Feeling sad and helpless.
Feeling sad and helpless. Yeah. I think more of the anger is coming up. I mean, I think I was remembering, like, I know how this goes because it's happened to me, like we started with the imagined memory. And I'm like, I am mad. I mean, I'm mad that, my dad had some weird trip going on where he would do that to us, and that's, you think little kids, sometimes they just starve, they have their tastes and, to make them go to bed without food is not fair,
Yeah. Even though I feel this anger.
Even though I feel this anger.
My dad had this weird trip going on.
My dad had this weird trip going on.
Sending her to bed without any supper.
Sending her to bed without any supper.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though it makes me angry.
Even though it makes me angry.
She was crying.
She was crying.
And he sent her off to bed without any supper.
And she had to go to bed without any supper.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all of this anger.
Even though I feel all of this anger.
He was yelling at her.
He was yelling at her.
Sending her off to bed without any supper.
Sending her off to bed without any supper.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. All of this anger.
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 all of this anger,
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 all of this anger.
all of this anger. Yeah, there's still some anger. I did start to have the sort of reframe of like, that's what happened to him. Probably he thought that's how you build character. I mean, I can see that, but I'm still angry that we had to suffer through some of this stuff. I mean, my sister and me and my others, and it's just these punishments that I know now are really inappropriate for little children. And it's like, and now we're paying the price.
So let's just check on that. Anger 0 to 10, imagining that scene where he's yelling at her, she's crying, he's sending her off to bed with any supper. 0 to 10 on that event.
I think the anger is definitely like way down, like a 1 or a 0. There is still a little sadness about it. Just kind of like, boy, that sure is a sad thing that we dealt with that, and she dealt with that and I dealt with that.
Okay. Even though I feel this sadness.
Even though I still feel this sadness.
That we had to suffer through that.
That we had to suffer through that.
She was crying.
That time she was crying.
And he was yelling at her.
And he was yelling at her and being really mean.
Being mean. Okay. I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all of his sadness.
Even though I feel all of this sadness.
That we had to suffer through that.
That we had to suffer through that.
He was being mean.
He was being so mean.
Yelling at her when she was crying.
Yelling at her when she was crying.
Sending her off to bed without any supper.
Sending her off to bed without any supper.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Tap on the points. All of this sadness.
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 All this sadness.
All of 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 this sadness. Okay, so if I think just about that, because there's that tendency to start thinking about all the other things, but just about that time, I think it's down. My whole system has calmed down about it. It's not completely gone, but it's like a 1 or a 2. I
want you to just focus on that one scene and tell me what is it that's still a 1 or 2 about it. What part are you focusing on?
It's her crying.
Her crying.
Yeah.
Okay. And that feels sad to you?
Yeah.
Even though I still feel this sadness.
Even though I still feel this sadness.
Are you watching or hearing the crying? What's part?
I'm watching.
Yeah. I'm watching my sister really crying.
I'm watching my sister really crying.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all of his sadness.
Even though I feel all of this sadness.
He's being mean.
He's being mean.
And I'm watching her really crying.
And I am watching her really crying.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all of his sadness.
Even though I feel all of this sadness.
She's crying.
She's crying.
And I'm watching that.
And I'm watching it.
He's being mean.
He's being mean.
Sending her to bed to bed without any supper.
She's going to have to go to bed without any supper.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. This sadness.
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 This sadness. Yeah. I think from that, I can say it's pretty much gone. There's other memories coming up about watching her crying that were even more intense. So,
okay.
Not necessarily having to do with food, and I don't know if time to bring them up here.
Well, if they came up, as long as you feel comfortable talking about it, I always trust that your mind is giving it to you for a reason.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little scene that I've worked on a little bit before, but it's obviously not resolved. Um, and we used to spank us, and there was this one terrible transgression that I don't even, wasn't even that
So
bad.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Did you say spanking? Okay, so we're going to treat this differently.
Yeah.
And so give me a title that's not too triggering for that one time.
Okay. Let's see. That's not too triggering.
Could have been the town you lived in, could have been the day of the week it happened, or something about
Okay.
Yeah.
It was after taking a bath. Is that?
After taking a bath.
Okay.
Okay. And guessing at your level of intensity just for the title without really thinking about the event, guess 0 to 10. And open your eyes if you can.
Okay, right.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, after taking a bath. All right, maybe 5.
Okay, so let's do some tapping. Even though there's this event after taking a bath, right here, right now, I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Even though there's this event after taking a bath, right here, right now, I'm okay.
I am okay.
Even though there's this event after taking a bath,
it's called after taking a bath.
Right here, right now, I'm okay.
I'm okay.
After taking a bath,
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 after taking a bath.
after taking a bath.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So I think not going in just after taking a bath is
Just
okay.
kind of even see it as sign, maybe on a marquee of a movie theater. You haven't stepped into the movie. You're just looking at the sign. After taking a bath is the name of that movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
that can be 0. That's a 0, yeah.
Great. All right. So do you feel comfortable sharing what happened?
Yeah, my dad's never going to watch this.
So I want you to go to a neutral part before anything bad happened. You're going to start telling me the story.
Okay.
If there is a moment that feels like a peak of intensity, stop yourself. But if I sense that there might be something, I may do a lot of interrupting in the process, not to be rude, to keep you safe. And that's the way we work it, little bit by bit.
Okay.
So go ahead and share from the beginning before anything bad happened.
Okay, well, I was taking a bath with my sisters, and I actually don't remember what we did that was, maybe we splashed, maybe we made noise, I can't remember, but suddenly my dad came in and he was really mad at us and yelling.
So hit pause. So dad comes in the bathroom and he's yelling. Guess at your level of intensity for that.
I think just that, not looking forward, it's maybe a 6.
Okay, so let's tap on that. Even though
he
comes into the bathroom
and
he's yelling at us.
Right
here, right now.
Right here and right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Even though
he
comes into the bathroom
and
he's yelling at us.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Even though he comes into the bathroom
and
he starts yelling at us.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
He's yelling at us.
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 He's yelling at us. Yeah, I mean, it's scary. It was pretty scary to have him yell at us, but I'd say it's gone down, just that part has gone down to a 3. It is really tricky to sort of not,
Yeah, go forward. It's a trauma pull. So let's do it one more time. I like to get it a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Even though
he
comes in the bathroom yelling at us.
He comes in the bathroom and he's yelling.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Even though he comes in the bathroom and he's yelling.
Even though he comes in the bathroom and he's yelling.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Even though he comes in the bathroom yelling.
Even though he comes in the bathroom yelling.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
He comes in the bathroom yelling.
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 Comes in the bathroom yelling.
He comes in the bathroom yelling.
Comes in the bathroom yelling at us.
He comes in the bathroom and he's yelling.
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 He comes in the bathroom and he's yelling.
Comes in the bathroom and he's yelling.
Comes in the bathroom and he's yelling.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I think that's down. I mean, no. Maybe a 1.
Great. So rewind to the beginning.
Okay.
Start with this first part. If it still feels like a 1 or low, keep going and let's see where the next point is.
All right, so we're taking a bath, we're just having fun, and then for whatever reason, he comes in the bathroom and he starts yelling, still feels okay. And then he says, you know, you all have to come out of the bath and you're all going to get a spanking.
Okay, so hit pause. Hit pause. You all have to come out of the bath and you all have to get a spanking. Guess at your level of intensity.
Probably 8 or 9.
Oh, let's tap. All right, even though. Let's just tap. I'm right here with you. Just tap. I'm right here with you. Just keep tapping. You're doing great. Just keep tapping. I'm right here with you. I'm right here with you. Just keep tapping. Good. Keep tapping. Good. Feel the tapping on your face. Good.
Yeah.
Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the vibration of the tapping in your body.
Yeah, it's getting better. Didn't expect that.
Good. I'm right here with you. All right. Feel the temperature of the air on your skin. Good. Have some water. Great.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
so that was a 10.
All right. So even though he says you all are coming out of the bath and you're all getting spanked.
Yeah, he said you're all coming out of the bath and you're all getting spanked.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I am okay.
Even though he says we're coming out of the bath and we're getting spanked.
Even though he says you're coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
Right here, right now, I'm okay.
Right here and right now, I'm okay.
Even though he says you're coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
Even though he says you're coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm safe.
I am safe.
Good. You're coming out of the bath and you're going to get spanked.
You're coming out of the bath and you're going to get spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and you're all going to get spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and you're all going to get spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
All of you are coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
All of you are coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
All of you are coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
All of you are coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
All of you are coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
All of you are coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
All of you are coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
All of you are coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
All of you are coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked. Yeah, that's down quite a bit.
Guess at your level of intensity.
Probably like just that, like a 4.
All right.
Just like now I'm fine, you know.
Yeah. Let's bring that down further. So even though he yells, you're all coming out of the bath and you're all getting spanked.
He yells, you're all coming out of the bath and you're all getting spanked.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm safe.
I'm safe.
Even though
he
yells, you're all coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
He yells, you're all coming out of the bath and you're getting spanked.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I am okay.
Even though he yells, you're all coming out of the bath.
Even though he yells, you're all coming out of the bath.
And you're getting spanked.
And you're getting spanked.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked.
You're all coming out of the bath and getting spanked. Okay, yeah, it's done. It's like a 1 because I'm like, that was 50 years ago.
Yeah. All right, so rewind to the very beginning. You're in the bath and go to these 2 parts that we worked on. If they're still okay, keep going with the story.
Alrighty. So we're in the bath. We're having a good time. Suddenly he comes in and he's yelling. He says, you're all coming out of the bath and you're all getting spanked. And then we got out of the bath and it's this thing where it has to be, we each have to have like 3 spankings and like line up and get these spankings.
So what do you remember happens after he says you're getting out of the bath, you're all getting spanked? Even if you have to make this part up, what happens next exactly?
I think we got out of the bath and we went into his bedroom, which was sort of right by the bathroom.
All of you together?
Mm-hmm. And we're sort of standing there.
And who is the first one?
Me, because I'm the oldest.
Okay. So just imagining that part, you're going into his bedroom and you're the first one and you're lined up?
Yeah, we're just kind of lined up. Yeah. And that, it's like the intensity about me is not huge. It's there. I mean, there's some intensity, so maybe we'll do a round.
Go get low before you go forward. I know it's trauma pool again. So just tell me, guessing at the level of intensity for being the first one in that line. Just guess.
6.
Let's tap on that. So even though we're lined up in his bedroom.
We're lined up in the bedroom.
And I'm first because I'm oldest.
And I'm first because I'm oldest.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I am okay.
Even though we're lined up in his bedroom.
Even though we're lined up in his bedroom.
And I'm first because I'm oldest.
And I'm first because I'm oldest.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm safe.
I am safe.
Even though we're lined up in the bedroom.
Even though we are lined up in the bedroom.
And I'm first because I'm oldest.
And I'm first because I'm oldest.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm safe.
I'm safe.
Okay, we're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first.
We're lined up in the bedroom and I'm first. Yeah.
Just at that part, 0 to 10.
I'd say 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rewind, and then you know the drill.
Okay. So we're taking a bath. We're having a good time. He comes in. He's yelling, kind of like, uh-oh. And then we have to get out of the bath. He says, you're all going to get a spanking. And we have to get out of the bath and go and line up in the bedroom. And then I'm first. And then that's the thing. There's 3 of us. And so then my youngest sister, the one who was talking about before.
No, hold on. Before you go further, I just want you get spanked.
Yeah, I get spanked. The thing is, that's only the first one. We have to have so it's a quickie. Obviously it's traumatic, but it doesn't, I'm just feeling like I don't feel the pain of it or anything right now.
Great.
Yeah.
So you got 1 and then you went to the back of the line?
Yeah.
Okay. So anything with getting that one and going back to the line, anything there, guessing? Not
with that part, no. So then it's my youngest, so it was time for the middle sister, but the youngest sister is sitting there and she's standing there and she's sucking her thumb.
So
right.
Stop. And just thinking that she's in front of you. She's about to, right? Is that where we are?
Yeah, it'll be her turn next after my middle sister.
Yeah, she's sitting there sucking her thumb.
Yeah, standing there.
Guess at your level of intensity.
It's not too high just watching her suck her thumb, but there's a lot of stress around the whole thing. But then she, as soon as the middle sister's done, like there's this look where she had her thumb in her mouth and then she starts to cry around.
Oh, yeah. So
that's the part that's really getting to me.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So even though
Even though.
She takes her thumb out of her mouth.
Yeah, she starts, her thumb kind of slips from her mouth.
Lips from her mouth as she's starting to cry.
She's starting to cry.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Even though
I'm watching.
And her thumb slips out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I am okay.
Even though her thumb slips out of her mouth.
Her thumb slips out of her mouth.
She starts to cry.
She starts to cry.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I am okay.
Okay. So watching her thumb slip out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Watching her thumb slip out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Watching her thumb slip out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Watching her thumb slip out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Watching her thumb slip out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Watching her thumb slip out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Watching her thumb slip out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Watching her thumb slip out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
The moment that her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
The moment that her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry. Okay. Yeah, it's probably still, 6 or 7.
Okay. And it's just that what you're seeing her do.
It's just that, yeah. I probably just need to go through it one more time.
Yeah, sure. Even though I'm watching her.
Her
thumb slips out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
You're right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I am okay.
Even though I see her thumb slip out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Even though I see her thumb slip out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
Right here, right now, I'm okay.
Right here, right now, I am okay.
Even though her thumb slips out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Even though her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I am okay.
Good. The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
The moment that her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
That moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
That moment that she starts to cry.
That moment that she starts to cry.
When her thumb slips out of her mouth.
Her thumb slips out of her mouth.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth as she starts.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
She starts to cry.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So thinking about that now, guessing at your level of intensity.
It's probably a 3.
Okay. I just want to honor that we had set aside just an hour and we're at the hour. Do you have a little extra time?
I have a little extra time. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to open up a major can of worms.
No.
Yeah.
I really want to handle this with the care and consideration that it deserves. So how much extra time?
I probably, I have a half hour, but
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I don't think it'll go that long, but that's good to know.
Yeah, I don't have an appointment.
Just wanted to make sure we're in agreement on what can happen here.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. So, thinking about that moment, guessing it's a 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 3 because it's only the first one, so that's, it's a 3. It's, I mean, it's not gone. It's a 3. And, what happened was it kept, we had the 3. So
Yeah. So let's just do that again. So even though
I
see my youngest sister,
I see my baby sister.
My baby sister, her thumb slips out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Even though
her
thumb slips out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Her thumb slips out of her mouth and she starts to cry.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Even though her thumb slips out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Even though her thumb slips out of her mouth as she starts to cry.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I am okay.
Good. The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth.
The moment her thumb slips out of her mouth.
And she starts to cry.
And she starts to cry.
She starts to cry.
She starts to cry.
That moment her thumb slips out of her mouth.
That moment her thumb slips out of her mouth.
And she starts to cry.
And she starts to cry.
She starts to cry.
She starts to cry.
The moment the thumb slips out of her mouth.
The moment the thumb slips out of her mouth.
And she starts to cry.
She starts to cry.
She starts to cry.
She starts to cry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's down. It's not so much the moment her thumb slipping out of her mouth. It's me, that same thing that was before where I'm helpless to protect her.
Okay. Even though I'm helpless to protect her.
Even though I'm helpless to protect her.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Even though I'm helpless to protect her.
Even though I'm helpless to protect her.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Even though
I'm
helpless to protect her.
I'm helpless to protect her.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm helpless to protect her.
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 How's that?
Better, yeah.
Guessing at the level of intensity just for that part.
Just to the part of helpless to protect her.
And yeah, that first moment.
In that moment, yeah. So trying to stay in that moment. I think it's like a 2. I mean, take a sip of water.
Okay. And your sister is still alive today?
Yeah, and we're close, and she's okay.
Great. So
relatively.
Great, perfect. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah. Okay, so we're taking a bath. We're all together. We're having fun. He comes in. He's yelling. It's kind of like, uh-oh. And then he says, you all are going to get a spanking, and we have to get out of the bath and go in the bedroom, and we're lined up. And then I'm first. And then my next sister's getting her spanking, and then it's going to be my little sister's turn. And her thumb slips out of her mouth, and she starts crying, and I feel helpless to protect her.
Okay, and what happens next?
And then she gets a spanking, of course.
And just the moment she's getting spanked, is there, guess at your level of intensity, she's getting spanked?
It's not that high. For some reason the thumb thing was more of a deal.
Sure.
In the way my brain's processing that.
Could be generalization effect on that.
Yeah, I think it's maybe only a 3 or a 2, because by then I'm kind of like starting to worry about my next spanking.
Okay.
So we're lined up and we're doing this thing. So then she gets a spanking, and I'm, then it's my turn again, and then the same thing happens again where the thumb slipped out of her mouth. So I sort of watched that happen, I guess, 3 times.
And as you're going through the second time of it happening, guess at your level of intensity?
Yeah, maybe a 5. There's this like tension. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So even though I'm watching it happen again.
Right
here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
And my sister's okay.
And my sister's okay.
Even though I watch it happen again.
I watch it happen again.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
All these years later.
We're
both okay.
Even though
I watch it happen again.
Right
here, right now. We're okay. I watched it happen again.
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 Okay.
Yeah, it's down. It's down, yeah. So like 1 or 0.
Okay.
It's feeling more distant. The whole little episode is actually feeling more distant. A long time ago.
Okay. All right.
Reasons why, so yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Let's tell it and just, you might go to the end this time and just check on if there's anything left.
Okay. So we're all taking a bath. We're having fun. Something's happened and he comes in and he's yelling at us. And he says, you're all going to get a spanking now and it's going to be this way. And we all have to get out of the bath and line up in the bedroom. And then I'm first because I'm the oldest. Sorry.
Is there something there with that?
Well, there's this other thing. He uses this thing he called the bad stick.
A bad stick. Okay.
So there's a little intensity just sort of seeing the bad stick. It's not that high. It's
wait. I wouldn't be doing my job if we just kind of went over that. So just seeing the bad stick.
Yeah, I'd say maybe a 5.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Let's get that out there. Even though
I
see the bad stick.
I see the bad stick.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Even though.
Even though, yeah.
I see the bad stick.
I see that bad stick.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
All these years later.
All these years later.
I'm okay.
I am totally okay.
Even though I see the bad stick.
Even though I see the bad stick.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
I'm safe.
I'm safe.
Good. I see the bad stick.
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 I see the bad stick. Yeah. So that feels much lower now because it's, I am okay. And I know that. And it was.
So just as a little additional check here, can you just describe what the bad stick looked like?
It was just like a stick of wood. It actually came out of our set of blocks. So it was the really thin one. You still see it. My grandson has the set of blocks. That stick is in there. That block is in there.
Yes.
And for some reason, so I can see it and I'm not, right now feeling a big charge about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the beginning.
In relation to this. Yeah.
Go back to the beginning.
So that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Taking a bath with my sisters.
Yep.
Everything's fine. My dad comes in, he starts yelling, and he says, you all have to get a spanking now. And we get out of the bath, and we're lined up in the bedroom, and, he's getting out the bad stick, and I have to go first. And then it's going to be my baby sister's turn, and I see her thumb slipping out of her mouth, and she's crying. And then we go around again, and I see it again. And then we go around again and I see it again. And then I guess we're done. And I don't remember much after that.
Okay. So as you were saying it, did anything pop up as maybe there's a charge on that part?
It's the charge is way lower because I feel like, it is all so far and away. Probably, it's just, there is that little piece which was tied into what we talked about before of this, like being helpless to protect her. And that's why it was, which I never really realized was so charged. Apparently it is.
So even though
this was happening,
and I feel helpless to protect her, right here, right now, she's okay. So am I.
And so am I.
Even though I feel helpless to protect her, when we're in the bedroom,
where we are in the bedroom,
and this is happening, I feel helpless to protect her. Right here, right now.
Right here and right now.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
And so is she.
And so is she.
Even though
I
Feel helpless to protect her.
I feel helpless to protect her.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
We're okay.
We are okay.
Good. Feeling helpless to protect her.
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 Feeling helpless to protect her. Okay, yeah. Now I'm feeling, seeing like, of course, it wasn't my role to protect her. It was something I put myself in and at that age. But that now I'm not charged about that. I'm just like,
okay.
It's like kind of like a sad story.
Okay.
Sad story from the past.
So I want you to think about what we just worked on in terms of this whole issue with food and how it started when you said you were probably a teenager when it started.
Yeah. I might have even been younger, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you tell me what you think the connection is.
The weird thing that popped into my head when we were doing it, I was like, did I somehow feel like I have to punish myself or something? So, it's like a little bit of a can of, a thing of like to unpack, I think, a little bit of an onion to maybe still unpack. But that's an insight that I hadn't had. I mean, I'd always sort of thought, oh, it's probably about feeling, like the teenager and worrying about my weight and people telling you better not get fat and all these things like this, and it might be somewhat related to that. But this stuff that went on and, being hungry, worrying about my sister being hungry, having these things happen. And then I sort of, it somehow was, I don't know why it's serving, why some part of me thought it would be a good thing to develop this pain.
Yeah, those things aren't logical ever.
Yeah, exactly. So it's something I think I can continue to work with now. Like I've sort of I've uncovered more of it, so it's like I have more that I can now
Great.
forward and
great
and work with on it. Yeah.
Okay. And just checking in with your body, how is that feeling in your esophagus?
It was interesting to notice it shifting through the course of it all, and it sort of started to get better a little bit, and then it was coming back because I actually am hungry now. But I did come to this kind of hungry because that's what we decided to do.
Yes.
But it's so it's there, but I think what's different is I don't feel that sort of hopeless, resigned, well, this is just what you have to live with forever. Like it's sort of more like a ray of hope.
Yes.
That, if I can sort of unwind some of this stuff a little more, doing my own tapping and working with it a bit more, because as we discovered, it's rather deep. So thank you.
Okay. Okay, so let's do this little sneaking away then.
Okay.
All right. So even though I'm not done with this yet, I did feel a shift.
I did feel a shift.
I am a little more hopeful than I was at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm much more hopeful than I was at the beginning.
Good. So even though I'm not done with this yet, I made some interesting connections.
I made some very interesting connections.
And I know I don't have to maybe punish myself.
And I know I don't have to maybe punish myself if that's what I'm doing.
That's what I'm doing, and I'm willing to go explore it.
I'm willing to go explore that.
Even though I'm not done with this yet.
Even though I am not done with this yet.
I know what to do now.
I know what to do now.
I know where to go.
Yeah, I know where to go.
And I'm feeling grateful that I went here today.
And I'm feeling grateful that I went here today.
And I feel a lot more hopeful than I did at the beginning.
And I feel a lot more hopeful than I did at the beginning.
I'm feeling more hopeful.
I'm feeling more hopeful.
I can see some connections.
I can see some connections.
And I don't have to punish myself if that's what I've been doing.
And I don't have to punish myself if that's what I've been doing.
I'm ready to unwind this some more.
I'm ready to unwind this some more.
And I'm feeling better.
And I'm feeling better.
I am much more hopeful.
I'm much more hopeful.
I know where to take it.
I know more where to take it.
And I feel gratitude for myself for going here today.
And I feel gratitude for myself for going here today. and having that
Excellent.
courage. Yeah. Thank you, Elena.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I would also do some extra testing on the event. I would also go back in with matrix on the event.
Yeah, yeah. I think I did Matrix once, but I think I needed to do this first
Yeah.
before the Matrix because I think there was too much there to sort of
Yes.
completely clear in the Matrix just one time. So
Sure, and probably perhaps going in and letting that girl that you were know that she is not the one responsible here.
yeah,
She couldn't help. There's nothing she could have done, and that's okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so there's some more work to do, but it feels a lot more clear about, I was always just so flummoxed about it. I have no idea what the stomach thing is. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
know there must be some emotional thing going on, but who knows what.
Excellent.
So yeah, so that's very, very
All
helpful.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you too.